Hello everybody, I'm Dr. Urvashi Sharma, Associate Professor, Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, Jagannath University, Jaipur. In today's session, we'll just have an overview of Hindi journalism, and in the next session, we'll go in detail about the contribution, growth, and development of Hindi journalism. So let's begin. The first Hindi newspaper, Udhund Marthand, a weekly, was published in Kolkata from May 30th, 1826 in interest of Hindustanis. However, its editor Yugal Kishore Shukla or Jugal Kishore Sukul in some document faced many difficulties in running it. He was not allowed postal concession and had to close down the paper within a year. He made another attempt to start another paper in 1850 called Sameydani Martand, but it also failed. The second Hindi newspaper, Bangadut, was published in 1829 by Rajaram Mohan Roy and Divakar Prasad Thakur, with Neelratna Haldar as its editor. Besides Hindi, it was also published in English, Bengali, and Persian language. The first Hindi daily, Samachar Sudha version, came out in June 1854 from Calcutta with Shyam Sundar Sen as its editor and publisher. It was a bilingual paper, which meant it was published in two languages, in which there was more news about the market and shipping reports, which were published in Hindi, and the rest was in Bengali. The rise of Hindi journalism. Between 1850 and 1857, a number of Hindi newspapers were published. Among them, Banaras Akbar, Sudhakar Tattva Bodhini, Patrika, and Satya were popular. One of the major contributors to Hindi literature and journalism at that time was a great Indian writer who is also known as the father of modern Hindi, because he has given the shape of the Hindi as we see it today. Otherwise, all these newspapers were in different dialects of the Hindi language. He is Harish Chandra Bhartendu, who is known as the father of modern Hindi. Bhartendu, he began his career with Kavi Vachana Sudha, the first poetic literary magazine in 1867, and Harish Chandra magazine, which was later christened Harish Chandrika in 1872. It was a monthly paper with poetry, literature, travel, satirical, and humorous essays. In 1874, he also started Bala Bodhini, a women journal in Hindi. Bhartendu Harish Chandra is attributed for the drastic rise of literary Hindi and its promulgation. Newspapers like Bharat Mitra 1878, Sarsudhanidhi 1879, Uchit Waqt 1880, and Hindi Bangavasi 1890 were published from Calcutta during the last three decades of 19th century. Bharat Mitra, published from Calcutta, became the leading Hindi newspaper of the time under the dynamic stewardship of its earlier editor uh, Balmukund Gupta and Ambika Prasad Bajpai. First Hindi magazine, a literary magazine which set the standard of Hindi journals in the early years of the century, was Saraswati. It was a monthly magazine edited by Mahavir Prasad Dwivedi. It standardized the style and pattern of Hindi journalism and developed literary criticism, and book reviews. It became the torchbearer for the later Hindi journalist who cultivated its prose style. The beginning of new century saw birth of many Hindi dailies in Bombay, Calcutta and Patna. The most prominent among them were Sri Venkateshwar Samachar and Calcutta Samachar, Vishwamitra, which was started after Calcutta Samachar. Another sub-editor named Ganesh Shankar Vidyarthi contributed his mite to Saraswati too. At later stage in 1913, Vidyarthi started his own newspaper Pratap, which gained huge popularity. He was a social reformist and often highlighted in his paper the plight and suffering of the farmers of Rai Bareli and other people suffering in different parts of the Indian state. Abhyudaya by Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya was a Hindi weekly, also contributed massively to the Indian freedom struggle, and at a later stage he also founded Hindustan Dainik in Hindi in 1936, which rose to popularity. Vijay, another Hindi newspaper that worked immensely for the freedom struggle, was launched in the year 1918 in Delhi by Pandit Indra Vidya Vashaspati. This paper was inspired by Swami Shraddhanand, who contributed in many nationalist articles. It strongly opposed Rowlatt Act in a series of articles which were scripted by Swami Shraddhanand. Hindi journalism made rapid progress during the First World War period, and many outstanding journalists came into the fore during this time, which included Ganga Prasad Gupta, Nand Kumar Deodharma, M.P. Dwivedi, Hari Krishna Johar, Chote Ram Shukla, Indra Vidyashpati, Sri Ram Pandey, Lakshmi Narayan Gade, and Narmada Prasad Misra. One of the foremost journalists who earned a name of his patriotism was Ganesh Shankar Vidyarthi. In 1913, he brought about weekly Pratap from Kanpur. He made supreme sacrifice in 1931 in the cause of Hindu-Muslim unity. Aaj newspaper. In 1920, Aaj was started in Banaras. It played a notable part in the freedom struggle. Its first editor was Sri Prakasha, the great freedom fighter who occupied position of power and prestige in free India. Espousing the national cause and waging never-ending battle with the alien rulers, the Aaj was a bulwark of the Indian National Congress and its main forum to spread the message of freedom to the Hindi-speaking masses of Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh and Nepal. It set the tone and style for Hindi journalism and was acclaimed for its impartial, objective reporting and illuminating, fearless editorials. A balanced blending of national and international news was one of its strong features. Swarajya, started in 1920 by T. Prakasham Sainik, by Krishnadatta Paliwal in Agra, Desh by Babu Rajendra Prasad in Patna, Swami Shraddhanand's Veer Arjun, and two other magazines, namely Nirsinha and Devnagar, were also very popular in this era. Swatantrata, started in 1939 by Puran Chand Gupta and Jagdish Chandra Kulsia. This paper was gradually launched as Dainik Jagran, which is very popular and has a huge readership today. In 1924, there were 102 newspapers. Four of them were dailies like Aaj, Banaras, Swatantrata, Calcutta, Arjun, Delhi, and Calcutta Samachar, Calcutta. According to one historian, until 1926, Hindi dailies were not very financially successful. Their get-up and printing was poor, the reading material was quite up to the mark, and the editorials were unwieldy and healthy. The weeklies were better edited and got up. As freedom struggle gained momentum, there was steady rise of Hindi journalism, both in terms of quality and quantity. Number of them were published in almost every part of the northern state. It also found the publishing in Maharashtra, West Bengal, and Andhra Pradesh, especially Hyderabad. Hindi publications, like other language publications by and large, they supported nationalist movement and they faced suppression under the vernacular press by British rule. One of the important Hindi dailies to be published from the capital was Hindustan, sister concern of Hindustan Times, which was started in 1936. It offered wide coverage and variety of special features, which were the USP of Hindustan. Post-independence, Hindi journalism grew more rapidly after independence. After independence, Hindi was adopted as official language. This also helped in the spread of Hindi language nationwide. The Bharat Times of Times of India group was started in Delhi in 1950. Amrit Patrika of Allahabad was another notable Hindi daily, which was well known for its trenchant editorials. Dainik Bhaskar was initially published in 1956 as a Hindi daily called Subha Savere and Good Morning India from Gwalior. It gradually was named Bhaskar Samachar and then it was relaunched as Dainik Bhaskar by 1958. By 1964, Hindi had largest number of newspaper amongst language papers. The trend of publishing multiple editions from different states helped Hindi newspaper to increase its reach and circulation. Thank you.